You are live. Okay. What is going on, cave dwellers?
What's up, peeps?
Got something special tonight, obviously. Rocking Camaro Fest. What's happening? Smokey, Spider, Paul. What's cooking? We actually have a special guest tonight, and we're going to be going over this amazing show, which we always have gone to every single year, and we'll go over a little background of what Camaro Fest is and with the people in charge. So, without further ado, let's welcome Joe, Bella, and Mike.
Hi, everybody.
Guys,
how's it going?
Joe Mama?
Said Joe Bella.
Say Joe Mama.
Oh, I see that now.
The other way.
That's
quite the wrong way. Sorry, that way.
that way. One of those. But obviously, it's all about Camaro Fest, and we're super excited about the event. We've always gone, and we're a little really disappointed this year. We're not going to be able to make it, but we will be back next year for sure. That is a must.
You better be.
I know, right? I feel so upset.
Dude, my boss has already told me, like, the owners have already told me, yeah, this won't happen next year. Like,
this
good.
really should be a national holiday. We just haven't got it there yet, so
Right.
we'll work on it.
Smokey says it's not a Camaro you're sitting in, Joe.
No, it's not. It's my truck. Sorry.
So yeah, I think first of all, people want to know what Camaro Fest is.
Yeah, so for all of the people that are out there watching,
The newcomers.
that have never been, tell us what Camaro Fest is.
It is a really good time. We've been doing Camaro Fest. Mike and I have been involved with it since 2010. We've been in different places. The last few years we've been in Bowling Green, Kentucky. They're really good location, but it is it's not your average car show. We do the show and the judging, and we've got a really vibrant field of show cars, but we're at a drag strip. We are autocrossing. We've got the National Corvette Museum road track the Thursday before the main event. We are a parking lot party all hours of the night. We are a cruise to the Kentucky bourbon distilleries. It's depending on how long you stay, it's 4 or 5 days of just Camaro stuff. It's amazing.
It's like Disneyland for the Camaro enthusiasts.
It is. I think so. My favorite part, if you want sort of my perspective on what is Camaro Fest, I usually get there on Tuesday before everybody else shows up, because obviously we need to set up. And I'm just in town. I'm in a strange town. I'm by myself. And then by Wednesday and Thursday, every time you come up to a traffic light, there's another Camaro.
Yep.
And by Friday and Saturday, there's like 10. And it just doesn't matter where you go. It's not that big of a town. So when 500-600 Camaros roll into town, you see them all. Every restaurant has like a cluster of 5 or 6, and it's so cool.
All the gas pumps are filled with them. There's like everywhere you turn.
A lot of the local businesses know that we're coming. We partner with the what's called the Visitors Bureau for Bowling Green. So a lot of the local businesses know we're coming, and they'll put up on their signs, welcome Camaro Fest. And it's a really, really neat environment for those 4 or 5 days.
It seems like the town really embraces us coming, since we've been there so many years now.
Yeah,
We do.
Yeah, I mean it's a motorsport town, right? It's the home of Corvette. It's we're the Corvette's little brother, right? And they just love it. They love motorsports, and we love going there.
I remember my very first Camaro Fest, and when I left, I cried. I didn't want to leave. I was like that bratty little kid at the gate of Disneyland that didn't want to leave. That was me. It was absolutely ridiculously embarrassing.
I don't think you're the only one.
So much fun. Like, I mean, nobody wants to get off vacation, right? But like,
Yeah.
I seriously didn't want to leave. So Camaro Fest has usually been like bounced around. It was like on this side of country, then it was on that side of the country, then it was in the middle, then it was back to where, and then it was then, and now it's kind of just stayed put in Bowling Green.
Originally, so that 2010 year when we started it, there was a guy, his name was Chris in Florida, and he wanted to put together a drag race, a drag thing for the cars. They had just come back out. You got to kind of put yourself back in time a little bit. So everybody was getting the cars. They were just being delivered. Everyone's getting excited. And Chris was like, hey, why don't we go race these things? And they booked this tiny little drag strip in Valdosta, Georgia. And it was so new and like nobody believed him. You know, he thought, or the track facility, I think in their head, they thought there's going to be like 50 cars. And when that line of cars at the gate reached like 2 or 3 miles down the road, all of a sudden their tune changed, and they were super excited to have us. They were opening up all the vendors and concessions and everything. And that kicked it off. That was only a 1-day event. And that was the big feedback, was we need to do more of this. 1 day is not enough. And so we decided to kick it to the West Coast. And we tried Chandler, Arizona for the second one. Firebird Raceway. Then we did Indianapolis 2 years in a row. We were in Houston. We went to Bowling Green. Then we went to Michigan for the launch of the 6th gen. We were, we called it Factory Fest. We were part of the planning, committee for the launch of the 6th gen.
At Belle Isle?
Yeah. So GM handled most of like the official business, but they wanted to do an enthusiast component. And they kind of tapped us on the shoulder and said, how should we do this? It was a really good time. It could have been a bit better. We were this close to doing an autocross in the Lansing River parking lot. And
that'd have been awesome.
That'd have been cool.
The lawyers just weren't going to have it. So it was like a month away. They shit canned that one. But anyways, so then we went back to Bowling Green, and we've stayed there ever since.
Well, I mean, it really is an unbelievable location. Between having all the hotels in a central location, you have both now the drag strip and the NCM track, and you got the autocross and the car show. It's a whole week of events.
And there's an amusement park and a water park.
There is.
Yeah. I've never been to it though.
Have you guys been to it? I've never been to it either, but I know a lot of people that just drop their kids off and then go do their thing.
There's a campsite on the amusement park site as well. You can hook up and bring your RV and stuff there if you're into that.
So, what does it cost to attend?
So there's a few different options to get in. Just so people understand that we've got to charge something to get into the event. That the facility that we're renting is fairly expensive. So if you are a spectator and you just want to walk around and see what's going on, you can be driving a Camaro. In fact, we hope you are. Then it's $30 for the weekend. So both Friday and Saturday at Beach Bend. If you want to come to spectate the road course at the Corvette Museum track, it's $0. There's no charge to spectate there. And they've got a really cool like pavilion kind of rooftop viewer thing there. So it's pretty neat to watch all the cars. We're going to have probably 70 to 75 F-bodies and Camaros on the road track. So you'll get to see them kind of race around all from the roof. They've got a nice air-conditioned facility. They just redid everything after the tornado a few years ago. But anyways, that's free. Beach Bend is $30 for the weekend. If you can only make it on Saturday, it's $20. So we reduced that for the 1-day thing. If you want to race, if you want to drag race, if you want to autocross, then that's $110 for the weekend. And you can do as much of either one of them as you want. The reality is Beach Bend is a fairly large track. We don't fill it up. I mean, we make a presence, but keep in mind, this is the same place that LS Fest is held. And so when we get there with 150, 200 guys going down the drag strip, it really is a free-for-all. You can do as much of that as you want during test and tune. There's a line, but it moves very quickly. Same thing with the autocross. This year, we don't have to register for sessions. So if you want to race Friday morning, Friday afternoon, Saturday morning, you can do that. I have yet to be at an event where you can do this much racing for this low of a price, just frankly. Like, and that was our goal for years is we kind of want you to be tired and say I'm done, rather than, I didn't get enough. So that's and the Corvette Museum track too. I guess I should mention that. So those are pre-sale only. You cannot get those at the gate. Everything else you can buy, at the gate or at our meet and greet on Thursday. But the road track stuff, I've got to have that ahead of time because there's a whole lot of planning that we need to do for that event. And it's $285 if you just want to do the road course and maybe spectate the rest of the weekend. If you want to drive the whole weekend, we have a wristband called the All-In package, and that'll get you Corvette Museum track, Beach Bend Friday and Saturday, drag racing and autocross. So that's how you
and there's different levels to it, right? Like if you've never actually done any of this, you can still go.
Oh, absolutely. We're kind of proud of the fact that we're very like newbie friendly. The road track is going to have close to 50% of the participants have either never been on track before, or NCM has been the only place that they've gone. And we group you together so that you're with people who are like you. We have coaches. Beach Bend is the same way. If you've never autocrossed before, this is a great place to try, because there's going to be a whole group of people there that want you to do well and are going to try to help you. And even if you don't win, I guarantee you your times are going to improve throughout the day. So it's great for new people. It's great for experienced people. In the autocross in particular, I've seen the course layout for that. And it's going to be challenging even for an experienced driver. So that'll be some fun too.
Yeah, like last year was the first year I've ever done it, and I brought my Panther, and it was a lot of fun, and I'm definitely so glad I did it, especially because not only you're getting the experience and seeing what your car is capable of, but there's photographers out there. There's video photographers out there too, and you're getting all this footage of your car doing things that you didn't know was possible.
Yeah, especially at the road track, there are some amazing photos you can get. They'll put it on metal for you. You can download the digital versions, but all that stuff you see online where people have like that picture of their car like half rolled over with the wheels all blurred out, like that's what you're getting, and it's really dramatic.
They're good photographers.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. So they do a good job, and you guys have been killing it with your social game too. I see over there, Mike. Right?
That's all Mike. I don't know where I'm pointing. That's all Mike.
Yeah, he's killing it. At least like 4 or 5 posts a day I've been seeing. So you've been killing it, man.
We're really trying to, highlight what happens there. We love seeing the faces. We love seeing your smiles on your faces. When you're out there using your car, how it was intended to be used. But we're talking about the pictures from NCM. I got a couple pictures where guys are lifting their wheels, man, when they're going around the curves, and look at how awesome those pictures are. That's the kind of pictures you get when you are at NCM, as well as, doing the autocross and the drag racing. Yeah. All those pictures right there. I mean, that's the fest right there. So I know we, in the past, keeping our social media alive, we post a lot of memes and funny jokes and stuff like that. And we've really focused in the last month anyway. Just everything we're posting is like right there. We know whose car that is, Brad. But look how high
wheel off the ground.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gotta be
yeah. Who did it better? So if you look at the other picture in there, you got the other car's got his wheel off. So, and there's tons of those pictures that people got. And hey, guys, if you want to share them with us because we'll put them up there so you can see, what your car is doing going through the track. Yeah, we got a lot of good pictures. Those are all from Camaro Fest. So every picture that you see on there, we really try to post cars that are from Camaro Fest if it's related to Camaro Fest. So,
and you'll hear us a lot. You'll hear us a lot say Camaro Fest, and I just want to make sure everybody watching that maybe is they've got a Firebird or something like that. We're trying to slowly switch over to like Camaro and F Body Fest, because this started in 2010 when the 5th gen came out, and for a good portion of our history that we just had 5th and 6th gen cars. But last year, a 1st gen won the autocross. There have been multiple Firebirds that have podiumed or gotten something at the car show. So yeah, and we did, yeah. So we built a race car this year. We chose to do a 98 Z28. We're calling it the CFZ. And that is it's a fourth gen, late fourth gen. It came with the LS1. We put an LS3 into it, swapped the wheels out, brakes, suspension, put a cage, seats and harnesses in the inside. It rips, and I'm hoping we'll give people a hard time at the autocross with that car, just to prove the relevancy. And I think as we built this thing, we've been talking to each other. That was a partnership with our headline sponsor, Operational Speed Supply, and Josh Jones. And I've had a couple conversations with him. Fourth gen prices seem to be trending upwards. And I think people are realizing what those cars were capable of. And it's easy to forget, when the fifth and sixth gen have been out for 15 years now. But that's one of the reasons why we picked that car for our build, and that'll be there. We're going to have that actually, hopefully, on display in the convention center during our meet and greet.
Oh, it's gonna be badass.
Yeah.
All right, so we can autocross, we can drag race, we can go to the MCM the day before all of the beach bend starts. We can car show. Can we do all of it?
Can do all of it.
Yes, we can.
And
are there awards?
There are. So if you bear with me for just a minute, because we have so many available awards that I forget all of their names.
They have their own names.
Yeah. I am pulling that. I should have been prepared. I'm not prepared.
If you click on each event, Drew, you can, it'll, like if you click on car show, if you scroll down, now we do need to update a couple things, but it gives you an idea of what is down. So if you scroll down, you can see it'll tell. And we're posting those in our social media posts too. So if I post something about the car show, it's giving you every award that's available for the car show, and those are updated. Same with drag racing and as well as the autocross. Now you don't get anything for our NCM because that's just a drive event. So, but drag racing and car show and autocross definitely.
Yeah, so car show, you have the opportunity to win best of show, judge's choice, best paint, best interior, best modified, best engine bay, or best original. Then we've got first and second place prizes for best first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth gens. We've got first and second place for the best theme, which has been another thing that's kind of sort of, I don't know, just it popped up one year. Like people were doing these themes for their cars. And when I talk about theme, I don't mean like they put a couple stickers on that say Batman or something. Like it is tens of thousands of dollars worth of modifications and custom paint and props and music and TVs, and it's incredible. So that
everything,
Oh yeah. Then for drag racing, we've got a fastest manual transmission award, stock bottom end, first and second place, unlimited, which is just like it sounds, first and second place. Bracket racing, first and second, and a first and second place for a 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, and 9 second index race. Then in autocross, we've got 4 different classes of cars. We're going to class them internally to try to make sure everybody's got a fair chance at this. So each class has a first and second place prize. We've got a special cone killer prize for that opposite end of the spectrum driver that might show up.
That's what I would get. I'd be that bad.
That was me. They asked me if I wanted to go back and hit the 3 I missed.
Fastest time of the day, shootout champion, which is going to be really fun. So all of the winners of the classes are going to then compete against each other. And at first you might think, well, that doesn't make any sense because the slowest class has no hope against the fastest class. But if you hit a cone, if you overcook it just a little bit, like you'd be surprised who has won these before when you do a shootout like that. So that's going to be fun to watch. And then the special award this year, we're bringing it back. We called it the Panther 2 years ago. We didn't do it last year, and we're bringing it back permanently. This is going to be the Best of the Fest award. And so, Tanya, you asked if you can do it all. You can get awarded for doing it all. To qualify for the Best of the Fest, you've got to attend the NCM road course. You have to race down the drag race, I think at least 3 passes. You've got to do autocross, just compete regularly. We'll loop you in and hold your time separate. And then actually go through the car show and have the judges take a look at your car. They're going to use a modified score sheet because we know these are race cars and they're not going to show as well as the well taken care of trailer queen. But you got to participate in the car show. We're going to add up all the points. So if you do awesome at autocross, but you suck at drag race, you still have a chance, and vice versa. And we're going to award you the Best of the Fest award, and we're going to refund your entry fee.
Oh,
Nice.
wow. Very nice.
Nice.
See, we should have went. What the hell's wrong with you?
Wow.
Just kidding.
And while we're talking about awards, so I'm going to make sure I'm getting all this correctly here. So the Best of Show, that's your top tier car show award, right? They just blew everybody else away.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to get a gift certificate to Nova Stretch for a front flex, like that little, what's it called? The bra for the front of your car.
Mm-hmm.
So that is Nova Stretch is sponsoring that award. For autocross, if you win your class or the shootout champion, let me back up. If you win your class, you're going to be getting a $200 valued case of oil for your car from Operational Speed Supply. And if you win the shootout champion, I believe Viking is sponsoring a $500 gift card to a set of coilovers through Viking suspension and OSS as well. So we're tossing some prizes out this year. And we're very grateful to our sponsors to allow us to keep to do that. Yeah, there you go.
Speaking of it, literally one just arrived today.
Nice. I bet you paid for that. If you went to CamaroFest, you get it for free.
See, what's your problem? Just kidding.
Winning class though.
So yeah, that's really cool. So basically, let's see. Can we go over the schedule of what days is which for everybody?
Yeah. What do you want to know? The times and schedule of events?
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah. So Thursday, we're going to open the gates at 7. That's going to allow people to start to kind of trickle in. The vendors may not be set up. The tracks may not be hot yet, but you can get in, park your stuff, wake up. And then we'll go track hot at about 8:45. I think it's 9 o'clock on the autocross. You got to make sure that you watch your schedule for all the drivers meetings. If you don't attend the drivers meetings for things, we're not going to let you run because you're going to miss some important info. Same thing for the tech shed with drag racing, right? So we'll make sure all your ducks are in a row, and then we'll be out of there by about 5:30. You get a chance to see the vendors. There's some food stands there from Beach Bend. Otherwise, you can go into town if you want to grab a bite. And your wristband is good. You can leave and come back all weekend. You're not trapped inside of the venue. Schedule's pretty much the same Friday and Saturday. Thursday is just a touch earlier, but again, same kind of deal. If you signed up for the road course, you're going to get, assuming everything goes well, you're going to get a good 2 hours on track. We'll do half-hour sessions, and there should be 3 sessions per run group each morning and afternoon. And if you've never been to NCM before, it's got to be my first or second favorite track in the country. I haven't been to all of them, but I've been to a lot. It's new, and they've stitched together all the best corners of different tracks around the world. And it's just a blast. It's long, it's fast. It's a really, really good time.
And you don't have to have ever been on a track before. This is a hell of a track to start on, but they'll put you out there in groups. If you've never been on a track before and you're scared shitless, they'll put you in the beginners.
Yep.
And you'll be in a classroom learning everything you need to know. And then you'll go out onto the track for a little bit. Then they'll bring you in and they'll put you back in the classroom. You're going to go through this cycle over and over and over all day. And if for whatever reason they feel you need to graduate, they'll move you into novice. And if you're not a novice and you need to get moved up to intermediate or advanced, they'll put you with those drivers so that you can have the best experience that you can have. You may go in there and be like, no, I'm definitely, I've never done this before, I'm a beginner. And you may end up leaving and this may be your jam. And you may be running with the intermediates before you leave.
Yeah. And, it's a good point you made. If you've never been here before, try not to be intimidated by the idea of going on a racetrack. It's not wheel-to-wheel racing. People are not going to be cutting you off and clipping your bumpers. And there's rules and there's expectations. And like on that map there, those green zones, that's the only place you can pass, right? So we're careful. We're safe. We want everybody to go back home shiny side up. And that's what it is. It's a really, really neat experience to just kind of have fun in your car the way they built it without any cops or speed limits or traffic lights, and everybody's there is doing the same thing. So that everyone's on the same page. You're not intermingling with just random drivers on the street, right? Like these are people who have been instructed and informed and everybody knows the rules.
And you have instructors out there with you.
Yeah, we'll have some instructors doing lead follows in the morning. Yeah.
So it's a great way to learn, because if you went to any other track and tried to take classroom lessons and go out on the track, even if it wasn't your car and it was their cars, this is hella expensive, like thousands of dollars expensive, and you don't get near as much track time.
No, this was another conversation I had recently with somebody. The prices we've got for NCM are actually really, really good. Especially if you're going to be there for the weekend for Camaro Fest anyways. A lot of groups that go to Corvette Museum, they're charging $350 or $400 to run that track. And we haven't really messed with that price for the last 4 or 5 years. I just think it's a good place to be. So if you're interested, it's definitely worth your time. It's a really
good 100%.
So glad I did it.
And you're out there all day. I mean, it's an awesome experience.
Definitely takes a lot out of you.
You will need a helmet, just FYI. And if you don't yet have a helmet, I think the Corvette track, I think they rent some. And then, again, our headline sponsor, OSS, is going to have some helmets for sale as well, in case you need one. Same thing for the autocross and the drag strip.
So let's talk about your Camaro.
Which one?
You got to be more specific.
Some
It's an easy.
Of our people's Camaros.
We talk for hours about our Camaros.
Some of our people's Camaros are a little more boisterous than others. The track has a decibel limit. So know your Camaro before you get all signed up for this, and what your options are.
So the staff at the Corvette Museum track, they're very polite about this, and they have to be, and I get it. They live there, but I'll just say it like it is. Basically, people moved in next to a racetrack, and they didn't like it was loud, so they got mad at them. So the Corvette Museum road track has to adhere to a decibel limit, a sound limit on track. They don't stick a microphone up your tailpipe. It's parked at a particular spot around the track. And to be honest, 103 decibels is actually pretty loud. The only cars I've ever seen that have busted this have had like headers and straight pipes out the back. Like we're as loud as you can imagine making your car. Those are usually the people that bust it. If you've got headers and like a MagnaFlow or something, you're going to be fine. No stock car has ever busted it that I know of. So it's there. They will give you they'll give you a heads up. If you bust sound, they'll flag you and they'll say, hey, look, you were too loud. They do sell these little temporary plug into your muffler things to quiet your car down. Yeah. And then you can go back out. If you bust it again, they're going to ask you to stop racing. But we haven't had that happen before. So yeah, know what you're driving. But it's not quite as restrictive as it sounds.
Paul, aka Lisa, has a question.
Yes and no. It depends on the event. So the road track is going to be experience based. We don't care what you drive. I've seen V6 drivers outdo like SS1 LEs depending on your experience level. So that's how that's going to go. Autocross, we're going to class them based on information that you provide in your registration form. So that's going to be stuff like, have you upgraded your brakes? Have you upgraded your tires, tire tread wear, engine mods? But believe it or not, the winners of the autocross are not the highest horsepower cars out there. Typically, it's more handling focused. So we'll class the cars as we have learned over time, you know, to keep everybody pretty close so that they have a chance at winning. We're not going to stick this like crazy fast person, you know, next to like a brand new stock V6 car. That doesn't make any sense. But we've got a little spreadsheet that we're using to make sure that stays equitable.
Very
So,
cool.
can we get merchandise?
Yes. At the event, first of all, pre-sales are going to close next week, Wednesday. So that is, I think, the 16th. So if you want to guarantee that you're going to get a shirt or a coin, you've got to get that pre-sale order in because we'll have it for you, right? If you do not pre-purchase, then we're going to have some extras to sell. But the reality is when they run out, they run out. Yep, that's our event shirt this year. Camaro Fest 14. So that shirt is available in men's and ladies sizes. It's going to be on like a gray kind of heather shirt. We opted for a premium fabric, so we're not going to do like the typical kind of Gildan stuff. And then that's our graphic for the year. You can see we're repping 1st, 6th, and 4.
A little Americana.
A little Americana going on. Yeah, the stars and stripes. And then we've got challenge coin for sale as well. And that kind of goes with the theme. So we've got the stars and stripes on the coin as well. But yeah, pre-sale if you can. They'll guarantee it. If not, we'll have some for sale at the event. But once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah, speaking of the coin, we were gracious enough for you guys to send us one to showcase here tonight. So we do really appreciate that.
You are the first to get those coins besides my dining room table.
Yeah, I already know that.
So there's the coin.
Front and back.
So the font on that too is the different fonts from the Camaros.
Yeah, so
You
we
guys did
did
a really good job with it.
Yeah, the primary font is the 1st gen, kind of 2nd gen original script. And then on the top is your late model blocky, kind of edgy lettering. And then on the lower part is like the late 80s, 90s fonts for the car.
That's a cool coin.
And then it's in a case.
Yep.
Yeah, comes with a little plastic case to keep it scratch free.
Going back to the shirts last year, like we didn't have anything left over after the meet and greet. There was nothing left over. So if you want a shirt, order them now. That way you got them. I think we have some larges. I mean, we didn't have anything left.
I think there were like 2 5XLs left.
5XLs.
If there wasn't much.
Yeah.
Big enough for your car.
Also, going back to mention something, if you're going on Thursday to watch, because it's a little confusing because people think you have to get a ticket to get in there. Your wristband, they don't even look for your wristband anyway. If you're going to be a spectator, all you have to do when you pull up in your car, you'll just have to fill out the waiver and, go in and watch. That way, we had some confusion in the past too, where people would, what do I have to pay? Do I have to get up there? And, what does it take to get in there? You're just going to drive up. They're going to have you sign a waiver, and then you're in the track, and you can watch all of the road course racing
At the NCM.
Yep.
So also you guys do a huge meet and greet the first technical night, and is it still Becky D's meet and greet?
It is always going to be called the Becky D meet and greet. Yep.
For some people that are new to the Camaro game, who is Becky D? Because we know it's a very long answer.
Yeah, I'll start with a real funny short story, and then I'll tell you. 2 years ago, we were cutting across Canada to get to Michigan, and not 2 years ago. Good God, it was 2018 or 2019. We were going to see Becky. She was a salesperson out of the Michigan. Was part of the Camaro 5 forums, sponsored God only knows how much stuff for the Camaro community. She was checking on people's orders for people that she didn't even sell cars to, like awesome lady. And she sponsored that meet and greet for a while. She bought snacks and food for everybody. But anyways, we crossed the border to get into Michigan. And, you know, the agent guy, he asked you, like, what are you doing in Michigan today? And I said, well, we're going to go see our friend. It's a birthday party, whatever. And he goes, oh, what's your friend's name? And we said, well, Becky. And he looked at us just like stone cold eyeballs. He goes, well, who's Becky? And I was like, I don't know. Where do I start to tell? She's just this person I know. Where did you meet her? It's like, oh my goodness. So anyways, you guys asking that just flashed my memory.
Yeah, my biggest memory is her handing out the hats at Valdesta, and like I just remember, like, who's this crazy lady that keeps handing hats to everybody?
I asked her, I think it was in Chandler. We were just standing there watching people, right? It was awesome. Everyone's having a good time. And I asked Becky, I said, why are you so nice to me? And I didn't mean it rudely, but like, I wasn't going to buy a car for her. I worked with Tom Henry in Pennsylvania. And like, so I was never going to end up buying a car from her. Not that I didn't like her. She was awesome. But I said, why are you guys so nice to me? Like, you know, you're always hanging out and having fun. She goes, well, because we like you. Like, you're our friend. She goes, we're not here just to sell cars. That was never our intent. She goes, I get to, and that's fun. She goes, I'm here because I love this car. I love Chevy. I love the people. And that's what she did. I mean, she shelled out thousands of dollars for that meet and greet for the years that she was still with us. And she passed away some years ago, due to pancreatic cancer. And so we've just left the name. Her family stepped up and sponsored it, I think, the year after that. And, since then we've just maintained, the memory of Becky D and her meet and greet.
Mm-hmm. Very fitting, for sure. Her and her husband.
She could drive a car.
Oh, and she was a race car driver, by the way. She raced her cars just like we want everybody to do. And
she beat you, Joe, quite a bit, wasn't it?
it was give and take, you know. She always cornered me. She said I had no choice. Either if I beat her, it was like beating my mother, or if she beat me, it was like my mother beating me. She like I was always going to lose.
Her at her house, they had like a condo kind of thing. Would you consider that a condo? Yeah. Downstairs was every NASCAR diecast you could ever, like thousands of them on the wall, all hung up. Like that was her little, I know we say man cave, but that was her woman cave.
She shed.
I wouldn't call it a she shed. And it was just anything that you can imagine was in there that had to deal with race cars. So it was really cool to see it.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then during the Becky D meet and greet, you can come get all your registration stuff picked up.
This is the big start to the event, right? So there's going to be about 70 or 80 people who are doing that road track in the morning, but everybody else is traveling and getting into town Thursday so that they can be at the host hotel, which is the Holiday Inn and Sloan Convention Center. And they are lining up at the doors at 7:00. We open those doors and everyone picks up their pre-orders. We'll have everything packaged, so it's easy. Your shirts, your coins, your wristbands, everything's just ready to go. You give us your name, and if you're on our list, we're good to go. You can also purchase things. So if you're coming, maybe you weren't sure if you're going to make it off of work or something, and you're coming to the meet and greet, you can buy Beach Bend wristbands, spectators, driver or racers. You can buy coins. You can buy shirts. But again, the shirts and coins, when we run out, we run out. The wristbands are fairly unlimited, so those will be available. And then it's a party. We're going to go out to the parking lot. We're going to be out there for a while, lights flashing, music playing, drinks splashing, and it's going to be a really, really good time. And I think, was it 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock rev off.
10 o'clock rev off. Yeah, they do that. That was organic. We never planned that. People just started doing it. So now every night, 10 o'clock, everyone tries to blow out their catalytic converters.
And we've heard some crazy cars.
Yeah.
And seen some flames. And
so my car, I never even tried. I have a ZL11LE. It wasn't loud enough. The exhaust is stock. You don't even hear it. So I didn't even try. Other cars. But the CFZ, headers, no cats, and an axle dump. I cannot wait to participate in the 10 o'clock rev off with that car.
That's going to sound mean.
Yeah. And remember this, this is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. It's all 3 nights like that, and it goes to. There are still people out there at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Do you have to be at the host hotel to attend that?
Nope. Just show up. It's the meet and greet if you're going to be there. We have a lot of the last couple of years too. We've had a lot of the. We've had some locals show up too, and some get a little out of hand. Others keep under control. The one year we had the Mustangs try to drive through the parking lot. That was an interesting. That was an interesting 30 minutes, I would say.
What about security?
Yeah.
What about security for the cars?
Parking lot? The parking lot's roped off for us, and we work with the police to take care of anything that they think is necessary. In years past, they have blockaded the road so that you can only get out in one certain way. So we don't have like hired security just wandering the lot, but we do have the parking lot secured, reasonably speaking.
And there's people, like I said, there's people that are out there 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah.
So they know who's supposed to be there and who's not supposed to be there.
We own that hotel that weekend. There's
Yeah.
nobody but Camaro owners there.
It's so cool to like go outside and be like every single parking spot is a Camaro, and they're all different. No matter, even if they're the same color, they all put their own little flair on it and customization. And even if they are stock, doesn't matter. Like it's still a Camaro, and it's about people at the end of the day. Once you start meeting people, that's really what this is all been about for us now. Like we go and we see people from all over the country that we become friends with.
Yeah, that's how all of us have met. Think about that. Think about everybody, the people that we started out on Camaro 5. All of us met. There was different people from all over. I met Joe. When he was 18. Think about that.
One back.
Yeah.
Andy.
Yeah. So I've known him for a long time now. We've known each other, and it's Camaro stuff. We've been together doing Camaro stuff since 2000 and when Indy was the first time we met in person. So, and that's when they did the public unveiling of the 5th gen.
Can we bring our own food into the event areas?
I've never seen anybody. I mean, they sell the food in there.
I mean, you can bring in like a sandwich or lunch or something. Yeah, nobody's gonna check your bags.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, I look at, if you like your beer and your alcohol, everybody's walking from their room and they've got a cooler. So
That's very true.
I've never seen him stop anybody for that. I mean, that's what's nice about it too is, you grab your cooler, you pull up your fold-up chair, pull it out of your trunk, sit down, and you just meet a lot of cool people.
What about the raceway? Can we bring our food and drink to the raceway?
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, it's a lot. Does anybody have any questions for Joe and Mike at all? Is anyone here watching new attendants coming for their first time? Because I'll tell you what, over the years we've been there, you just see the same peoples, right? But the last couple of years, there's been a lot of new attendees.
There was a lot of hands that went up.
The last couple of years, we've really reached out to. We're really trying to reach out to 1st through 4th gen Camaros. Like Joe stated earlier, when we started, this was a 5th and 6th gen event, and last year I counted over 30 1st gens, over 30 2nd gens. There was quite, I think we were in the 20s to 30s with the 4th gens. So the 3rd gens, we need those guys to show up because those are kind of the stragglers. But they're, 3rd gens are getting really popular now. Like Joe said earlier, you can still afford a 4th gen. We found ours pretty inexpensive and it was in pretty good shape. It might have been, bolted together with a couple different car parts on it, but we got a heck of a deal on that. Your 3rd and 4th gens, those are your new hot items with Camaros right now because they're affordable, but they're going up. So, but yeah, we've really had, in the last couple years, the 1st through 4th gens are really starting to represent, and we love that. We want to see that. Same with the Firebirds. The last few years we've had a few Firebirds showing up. Look at, the unlimited finals last year between Barry Cook and Russ, 0.01. That was an unlimited drag race, and that was separated by 0.01. You can't get any better than that.
especially if you have like a Trans Am, don't feel bad like you can't go because you
No,
have a
no,
Trans
we
Am.
want to see the Trans Ams, or as they say, the fancy Camaros. You know, we want to see those guys.
Smokey says this will be his first time coming.
Good.
Have a good time, bro. Good
We
time.
want to see you. Look us up. Come say hi.
Jess has never been to Camaro Fest. Well, we're gonna have to change that.
Smoky Racing. Is that Jason Rollis in there? Smoky Racing. Is that you? I think that's him. He was he raced with us at the Optima Challenge with the CFZ. He's got a killer. I think it's 2014. Yeah, it is him. He's got an awesome cherry red 2014 that he's just. It's crazy. It's an awesome fast car.
And also, obviously, this is a couple of days event. So how can someone watching brand new to this, going for the first time, is there hotels? How does that all work?
For first timers, so there you can visit the website CamaroFest.org. There's a lot of information there. It's a whole page dedicated to hotels. The Holiday Inn, I think, is booked. I believe I'm going to be releasing like 2 or 3 magical rooms back into the block, I think, later this week. I'll probably put a post up if I do. But then there's the Hampton, I think, or the Hilton across the street. There's a Courtyard by Marriott, and then we're going to be adding a new hotel very shortly. We just worked a deal out with them. They're a little less expensive, but just a slight drive down the road that we'll be adding for a lower cost option.
Yeah. And if you're at another hotel, do not be afraid to come to the meet and greet. Do not be afraid to come to the after parties. You know, you get your day of racing in, you have a good time. It's time to wind down. I don't know if you can really say that you can wind down, but you come sit, have some adult beverages with friends, and just come to the parking lot. You know, the more the merrier. We love seeing everybody. Say hi, stop in, and talk to everybody. That's how you meet new people and make good friends.
Hey, I don't put my Camaro through a car wash. Am I going to be able to wash my car when I get there? Like, there's no way I'm driving my car through one of those, like...
In the past, and it seems to happen every year, the hotel has a hose in the back that allows, we're allowed to use that hose. And we have had, we've had some detailers show up every once in a while too. I don't know if we had one last year or the year before, but I've washed my car over in the backside of the parking lot where the meet and greet's at. So if you see where that X is, if you see the host hotel, you see where that green X is, there's a hose back there, and they usually have it turned on for us so you can wash your car down.
They also have a couple of car washes with bays that you can hand wash your car.
Yeah, and they're right down the road too. They're not that far.
Kind of a fun hangout too, because there's usually nothing but Camaros there.
You can go right to the store website, Spider. They still have some available for the coins.
So he's saying he can't make it, so he'd have to, if he sends Joe a message and we have some coins left over after the fest, we might be able to ship him one out if we have any left over.
Yeah, well, if since he's on this stream here tonight, I'm on Facebook and actually that's probably all I am. If you can find me on there, send me a message, place an order. I'll make sure that we figure out a way to ship that to you. I'll hold it off to the side.
I would be remiss if we didn't shout out some of your sponsors, obviously for the event, because you guys got.
We're adding some more, so that list is incomplete. But our big sponsor this year is Operational Speed Supply. They're doing the autocross and helping out with a lot of the Best of the Fest award. American Muscle sponsors our website. NCM Motorsports Park, Beach Bend, Bowling Green. Those are all big helpers. And then we've got like sub sponsorships from Viking, Forge Star, Redline,
National Parts Depot.
National Parts Depot. I'm going to add up soon. We actually got can't forget Camaro Cave.
Hoosier. Hey, we got Hoosier this year too, man.
Hoosier's going to be there, and we've got a couple of like memorabilia folks. In fact, while we were videoing here, I just fielded an email from a person selling posters and stuff that are all Camaros themed and things you can tack up on your man cave walls. So
He's multitasking, folks.
At least he's not driving.
this truck has become an office and a kitchen for me sometimes. So
Yeah. What else were you doing besides those other things?
this computer was shaking a lot, wasn't it?
Just a little bit. No, that's all good. We do appreciate you guys giving us the time and helping other people find out about Camaro Fest and learning a little bit behind the scenes and what goes into it. So
Yeah.
we do appreciate that.
Going back to OSS too, and I know we posted it many times. Hey, they've got it set up where they're doing installs. You know, they're helping you with track. They're going to give you a lot of information to help you race during the weekend. So, and that's still open. You just got to call them. We've made some posts on that. But I'll post another one probably tomorrow or later this week with all the information on to get a hold of them. So if you want somebody to help you with your track day, if you want somebody to do some installations on your car, they're going to be there doing that. So
Is there going to be any vendors, any fun vendors at Camaro Fest this year? That used to be like one of my biggest like draws to it in the beginning was all the different vendors.
So with COVID, you know, when COVID hit, it really just took the wind out of the sails with all the vendors. Joe and I actually went to PIR in November last year, and talked with multiple vendors trying to get them to show up. And we have more than we had last year. And you know, last year we had quite a few that didn't show up, said they were going to show up, and then they didn't show up. So you saw what we had. I mean, we really didn't have anything. With OSS doing the installs, that's nice.
That's big.
Yeah, that's big, especially if you want something. I mean, hey, you want this installed, get the parts you need. They're going to get you those parts, and they're going to do the install for you. So that's good. That's like going back quite a few years where we had a lot of the guys doing the install. With the Camaro not being produced right now, it's kind of hard to get those vendors to show up to the Camaro or to Camaro Fest because of there's not a car there with new parts that they can come up with. So we've got more vendors than we did last year. So we're working on that. It's a challenge for us, and we know that's like a big part of when we get if you could improve, Camaro Fest, what would it be? More vendors. Mm-hmm. We're working on that. Vendors don't want to spend a lot of money right now to come to shows. So, and that's not just us. That's a lot of car shows.
Well, I know last year was really big because there was actually a bunch of Camaro merchandise there too. You could there was a bunch of shirts and hats, obviously with a bunch of Camaro logos. So that was really cool because obviously we all love the car and we want to brand the car on ourselves, basically.
Yeah. Coming up this week here, we'll put some posts out with a more comprehensive list of the people that you can expect in the vendor alley, and hopefully you show up and support them. And that's the big one too. If the show supports the vendors will come to the show. So, participate, do your part, and hopefully we can get some more and more every year.
Yep. We had vendors last year that we didn't have before, and they're like, first question they asked us was, how many first gens do you have showing up? How many second gens do you have showing up? So when they see that we're getting 30 plus cars now, that helps us out, especially, for the first through fourth gen Camaros. Yeah. Those are the big popular cars right now. It used to be, I don't know, you have to go back and see what the 6th gen is, but when you went with popularity on cars, you had the 1st gen and the 5th gen was second behind the 1st gen with how popular the cars are. Then it went to 2nd, then it went to 4th, then it went to 3rd. So it'd be interesting to see where we're at now.
Yes, Scott, he can. It's going to be hard to find a helmet for him that small, but I think what we can manage to do is like a paced lap or something like that, and not do it during the competition, maybe during lunch or after hours. But we can probably, we can arrange that.
Yeah, see, very accommodating people.
That's a pretty good question because people are going to want to know that pretty much for all the different events, and NCM will not let you have a ride along.
No, unless it's with an instructor, and frankly, they're going to be busy doing the lead follows. the big benefit there is the in classroom instruction. I got to tell you, I do a lot of track days, and when I first started this, there were always instructors willing to hop in your car, and 14 years later, that is becoming very, very rare, and for reasons I'm sure you can imagine. It's
they like life.
They like to live. Yeah. Now, most of the time they'll take you around because they have credentials and licenses and experience, and that's great. But I have not been to an event recently where an instructor is super excited to just hop in a stranger's car. So that anyways, I'm digressing a little bit, but yeah, no passengers at NCM road course. We can do passengers in autocross, but they need to have a helmet. And I think we can do passengers on the drag strip too. Same deal. We just need a helmet. And of course, the risk is yours, right? So you just drive accordingly. We want to bring everybody back in one piece.
There we go.
It's awesome.
Well, guys, we're nearing the 1 hour mark. Anybody have any questions for the boys?
So we had, I think last year, we had three or four Panthers show up. We had 2 ZL1s, and then we had 2 SS. So there was at least 3 Panthers. That picture that we posted on our Facebook page, I mean, that was Mike unloading his car at Tuesday or Wednesday night, and it started raining, and I looked at Joe and I was like, take a picture of that car right there.
That was like the best Panther picture I've ever seen.
It's outstanding.
That was on an iPhone at
That's even crazier to me. It's not even like a professional camera.
No.
You know what we were doing? We were out, looking over the car, and then he was loading it off of his crazy trailer that he has. That's awesome too. And then it rained just enough, to put that on there. And I was like, I had my phone, but I know Joe had a better phone than I did. And I was like, take a picture of that car right now and send it to me.
Yeah, that picture is my phone on top of a beer can.
Yeah, we got some crazy compliments on that picture. Yep, right there.
That's the best Panther picture I've ever seen.
That's an iPhone picture. Isn't that crazy?
That is nuts.
I mean, we had GM guys like posting, "Hey, appreciate it. That's an awesome picture." Yeah, you can't get any better than that right there.
No, like the whole wet look and the matte paint.
Mike's trailer is just off of the camera to the right. Like, there's nobody in that parking lot, and he's sweaty and he's got straps in his hands. Like, this was just candid.
So, of course, Mike will be there. So it depends on what he wants to bring. Remember, he's got a 2019 Orange Crush ZL 11 LE, and he's got that. And he took that bad boy out on NCM. He
I remember he was pushing me because I was going too slow.
We had 2 Panthers on the NCM. That's awesome. And we've seen the pictures. I saw pictures of yours. Mike posted some pictures of that same post that I made where Brad's lifting his front tires off, and the other guy, I don't know the name of the other guy, I just know the picture. And then Mike's like, "Here's mine," and Mike had air under both his tires too. So he was using that car for what it was intended for.
And that's what was so cool. And if you guys want to see like these photographs, you can join the CamaroFest Facebook page, right?
Yep. So we have 2. We have the group page, which is a lot of what's going on with CamaroFest and the group people that are talking together. We have our official CamaroFest page, which is our Facebook page. And then that's also linked with our Instagram. So if anytime I post, we make a post on our Facebook page, it goes to the group page and also goes to the Instagram. So, and we're almost at 46,000 members, and that's awesome. We didn't in the past we've really focused the last couple of years on trying to grow our Facebook and Instagram page, and we went from having 14,000 members, we're at 45,000, almost 46. So, and that's where we try to post a lot of our information. All the pics that you see that are on there, those are pictures that we've taken at CamaroFest, or we've had photographers that have taken. Those are all pictures. That one right there, that's some car show information that I posted earlier today.
Can you believe it's only 15 days away? It doesn't.
Yeah. 14 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
Yeah,
getting there fast.
You know, it's crazy to think it feels like we still should have a couple months left and we don't. It's like, oh, it's 14 days away. So
that's crazy. Well, we definitely want to end this up here, but we always try to end these things with asking a big question. What does Camaro mean to each one of you?
So
it's a loaded question, but gotta ask it.
For me, you know, and you hear Settlemyers say this all the time, the Godfather, Camaro's comrade, friendship. It couldn't be more true. I would have never met any of you guys ever. If I'm a Chevy guy. My dad, I grew up with my dad. He was a vet guy. Uncles, Chevelles, and Camaro guys. And I've always been a Camaro. It didn't matter what year, Camaro guy. But I like I said, the first time I met Joe, he was 18. You know, I was 30 something at the time. All the guys from the Camaro 5 forum, every one of them, like we had 12 or 13 moderators that were, you know, that started this and did all of this. Chris, who started, you know, the car show from the beginning. All those guys I met through the Camaro. So to me, I really understand that whole friendship thing. And then, of course, being able to bang the gears and race the cars and put a big smile on your face with all the mods that you do to it. It's that, to me, that's everything Camaro.
Couldn't say better than that. What about you, Joe?
I got to follow that up. So when I was, my dad has a 1979 Z28. He bought it when he was 18. He still has it. When we were kids, all I remember about that car was we called it the vroom vroom car, and we never wanted to sit on the hump in the back seat. And we would take it to like ice cream and whatever. Those are some of my earliest memories. And so when I became 16 and I got my license and it was time to start thinking about buying a car, I wanted one of those. Obviously, they don't make them anymore. So right around that same time, they came out with the Camaro concept car. And from there, the dominoes fell, and I got involved with Scott Settlemeyer and the Camaro team and the Camaro Fest and the moderators. And it was overwhelming. It was welcoming. It was unifying. And in a world today where things seem to be, you're either on one end of the spectrum or the other, you can all kind of find a common ground if you drive the same car, which I find is really, really powerful. So that's what it means to me. That's why I like coming to this event so much.
And sister drives one too.
Yes, she does.
It's a family affair.
It is.
Well, and it seems like everyone that has one just can't have one. It's like Skittles. They just keep collecting them.
Yeah, they talk about whatever, going broke on drugs or other hobbies, and like I guess this is it.
Yeah.
Definitely it for us. Well, guys, there you have it. Camaro Fest 14. Can't believe it's been 14 of them are on this one. But July 24th to the 27th, Bowling Green, Kentucky. Yeah, that's all I got.
Hey,
be there.
It's one of the best shows. Don't miss out on it.
For sure.
100%. Well, we really do appreciate you guys joining us this evening. Thanks so much. And
hey, thanks for having us on. We appreciate it too.
Of course. If you need to get in contact with these guys,
still bummed that you're not going to be there.
I just gotta like go to her work and steal her.
You feel bummed. We'll be there definitely next year.
You know, there'll be a lot of pictures posted. I'm gonna do some live. We'll do some Facebook Live stuff too.
We're gonna live vicariously through you guys.
I was gonna say we're gonna live vicariously.
As soon as I show up, I start posting. So there'll be pictures out there.
It's just like it takes over Facebook and all the socials, like just cars after cars after cars, and it's a really good time. So if it's gonna be your first time going, you guys are in for a treat. And definitely don't be a stranger. Go up to people.
Yeah.
Say
hey,
hello.
if you see, it happens all the time. You walk through the parking lot at the meet and greet, and somebody comes up and says hi to you, and 10 minutes goes by, and then somebody else come up. If you see us, come say hi.
You can walk through the parking lot?
Yeah.
That's hard to do. I'm
We-
like,
we
car.
can't-
Oh, I know that car. Let's go say.
We can't.
I usually make cargo shorts with lots of pockets, and I just put like 3 or 4 beers in my pockets, and then we just start walking. And then usually somebody hands you a beer, so
True
you're
story.
pretty good.
True story.
Unbelievable. Well, guys, that's all we got for tonight. We hit that hour mark, so we definitely want to thank Joe and Mike for joining us. And don't forget, we're 14 days away as of tomorrow for Camaro Fest. So if you're not scheduled, book your hotels, go there. Even if you're there for a day, it is so worth the travel. We drive 10 hours to get there, so it's totally worth it.
Well, thanks for having us, and we'll see you next year.
Thanks again, guys.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
Yep, you too.
Later. Well, that's it, guys. That's our big live for Wednesday night, and we want to thank y'all for joining us. And again, special shout out to Mike and Joe for joining us and spending their time on this thing we call YouTube with us. And we'll see them soon. I don't know if they're going to Superfest this weekend, but we're going to be in Superfest this weekend. We are driving to Detroit tomorrow morning, so it will be a 10-hour ride for us to get to Superfest in Michigan. And if you're going to be there, come say hi to us. We're not. Don't be afraid of us, and we'll do some videos because we're not judging our cars. We're coming to hang out. Oh, maybe her. She does bite. Not hard, but she does bite. But that's that, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Next Wednesday night. Will we be here next Wednesday night? Because it's back-to-back shows. We're going Superfest this weekend, and then next weekend is Camaro Nationals, and the following weekend is Camaro Fest. So it's just weekend. But we're gonna have a lot of content coming for you guys because we're gonna be doing interviews at these shows. And if you want to be on the channel, definitely let us know. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you all so much. Did you look at and fix your lower running light? Not yet, but that car is not going this weekend. The car is going next weekend. So maybe we'll have some time to do that. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Have a good night. Drive safe. Keep the faith because Camaro's not dead. And we'll see you on the next one. Later, y'all.